Este es Miércoles de Tardeo, el espacio donde los emprendedores con hijos dejan de sobrevivir y empiezan a construir. Porque seamos honestos, si tus hijos fueran batería, ¿te cargan al 100% o estás siempre en modo ahorro? A veces te empujan, a veces te paran, pero siempre te cambian la ruta. Y aquí te damos el mapa. Arranca Miércoles de Tardeo con Adina Arnajea. Hello and welcome to Miércoles de Tardeo. Today I am here because I want to be part of the change that I want to see in the world, and because I truly believe big things are achieved when we all join forces and do small actions together. Hopefully my guest today will change the world I will be living in, and I am so happy to provide this space on air so that you can all hear them, join them and support them. I will let them introduce themselves and explain you what micropiece is.
You did it perfectly. I'm so proud of you. Now, who's the next one? Who do you want to start?
Jana?
Oh, she likes you more than she likes us.
It's good. I like it. Gives me more time.
Oh my god, it's gonna be my first time. But thank you so much for this chance to be on the radio show. And about myself, I'm Jana, and I'm originally from Kazakhstan, and I lived in 6 different countries so far, including South Korea, Germany, the UK, Denmark, and now amazing Barcelona.
Wow.
Yes, and I have a background in business, strategy and finance, but to be honest, for my whole life, I always wanted to do something kind to people because, like, why not, right? Because kindness costs nothing, and I think we need more people who would like help each other. So that's why I'm here today. Thank you.
You didn't come alone today.
No.
Hello. Where do I watch? To you?
You
to the camera? To
whoever you want.
No, because I first of all must say, hello, my name is Jill. I'm Dutch. I've lived in Spain for 30 years. Some years in Mallorca and now many years in Barcelona. But before I keep on talking about myself, I really must say that this moment is very special because I must say that in the past 20 years I've done a couple of interviews all over the world. But I was never interviewed by such a young person, and I'm really impressed by this introduction. I really mean it. I don't say it just because I'm here. I'm really impressed. So this interview, whatever will happen after this, I will never forget this moment. So really thank you for that.
No, thank you.
And this is really so special. And yeah, as I said, I'm Dutch. I've 2 beautiful daughters, but my first daughter, she's now 27, and she is a special child because she was born with a very big brain damage. These things happen in life, and let's say thanks to this circumstance, I came into contact with charities and I learned about helping people. And I got inspired to create a project which is called Teaming. There's now a big platform which looks great because it raised a lot of funds for many charities. But it was all started by the birth of my first daughter with a very, 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 very serious health problem. These things happen in life. And then my other daughter, she's perfectly healthy. And as I said, she's almost 19, even helping us with this new project. And I love to be honestly with very young people. The younger the better, because I get so inspired by all these younger generations. I'm 59. I feel like 20. Well, depends. If I climb up a stair, I feel a bit older. Then if I talk to young people, I feel suddenly like 20.
Me too.
Yeah.
When I climb the stairs, I feel like 80. When I talk to
it depends.
them, I feel their age.
Depends, what circumstance, or if you have a nice dinner at night and you don't sleep a lot, then I don't feel 20 anymore.
Yes.
But I still feel very young, and especially, because this is a bit of a strange introduction, but for me, everything is about energy. Especially positive energy, and as long as you feel positive energy for whatever the generation is, then magic happens. And that's what I found out. I discovered that with developing the Teaming project, which is 20 years, and now there's a platform. There's a lot of millions, really millions, all over the world that raised a lot of funds. That's great to see. But the number is not the most important thing. The most important thing is the life experience, the journey, and especially the beautiful people you meet thanks to these kind of projects.
I think is the most important part, no? The people that you meet during your journey.
Absolutely.
And how connecting different experiences in your life can help the others and help you also.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I also, of course, I keep on talking if you don't stop me, but I also want to give, I respect very much the person leading the show.
She was a bit worried, like she didn't know you and she didn't know exactly how it's going to work and what if she runs out of questions. But now...
Don't worry about
Don't worry
that.
about that. So we have a lot to talk.
Even if there's only one question, I can fill like a 2 hours program. Don't worry about that. So no, but really, I say it again. For me, it's very special to be here today. Not only because such a young, beautiful person is interviewing us, but also because this is actually our first official interview about our new project, which is called Micropiece, and we will have a lot of time or even other moments to talk so much about it. But of course, I think Jana and I will never forget this interview, only because it's our first official interview about this beautiful project, which in the end I think is going to help a lot of people, and it's really all about creating peace between all of us. Something
Hopefully.
I think that we really need in this world.
Yes. So right now you are developing a new platform that is called Micropiece. Tell us a little bit how it works and what it is about.
Well, thank you. It still doesn't work. It's under development. It will work. No, but thank you for the question, because it's so simple. The idea is so simple. It's all about not reinventing the wheel. Basically, there's nothing new on the project because Micropiece, the project, is really about small micro piece actions between all of us. It's really bottom up. It's doing a very small, local kind things. And if you do this individually, the question is, or can be like, do you think this changes the world? And the answer is no, of course not. But if we do this all together, and I talk really about very simple examples. It can be sharing a car, it can be sharing a meal, it can be teaching a language, it can be learning from a culture. I mean, all these, it can be greeting a person, it can be helping someone. All these very simple things we've done so many ages, and basically as long as we exist. This is nothing new, but now we have technology and we have a social media platform. And it's true that I do have some experience with another project I set up 20 years ago that shows, and thanks to this technology, we can do all these simple things all together. And we can show it to people, we can share it. And especially, I think it's most important that we can inspire other people. I think the most important thing is really the word inspiration. That if you see that, hey, you can be kind to your friend or to your mother or to a colleague, and this is already very nice in itself, but this can also teach so many beautiful things to other people. And that's really what the project is about. And that's why we call it Micropiece, because the word, I think, tells everything. It's micro in its piece. And that's really also what I don't want to enter into political things, but it's not an opinion. We know all how the world is today. And I think we're all worried. We all feel like sometimes scared or depressed. And especially we have the feeling that we are no one to change the world. Mm-hmm. And what I saw with the teaming project, which is about giving €1 per person per month for charity, that was for me the same idea. Some people, they say, hey, what can I do with €1, which is the same as nothing. But now at least the project and the platform has shown that, hey, altogether we have raised millions for thousands of charities, which is beautiful. And with Micropiece, coming back to your question, it's the same. It's like this feeling we all have, especially watching the news today or yesterday or tomorrow. We have this feeling like, what can we do? We cannot change anything. And we have to give up. And the answer is no, we don't have to give up. We have to unite. We can do so many things. And we have such a power when we really unite. And we do all these small micro-piece actions all together. And this is, it sounds a bit like business language, but this is really bottom up. It's not top down. I think top down, we already know that, I wouldn't say it's bankrupt. It's gone, it's there. But I think we all have our opinion, like it doesn't work too good. So if macro piece doesn't work, let's do micro piece. That's basically how I see it.
How do you see it, Jana?
I absolutely agree with this idea, because myself, I know every time when I open Instagram and I see like all the negative things and news happening all around, and sometimes like I'm so much in my head, like why is the world like this, and why are people so angry when you go to office, at 8-9 a.m. in the morning you take a metro and everyone looks like they want to kill each other. And in these moments I'm always the person who smiles a lot, and I notice that when I give a smile to a stranger, they also smile back to me. And I was thinking like how cool it is that this small gesture, like it doesn't have to be sharing something, but it's just being nice to someone, giving a compliment, giving a smile can actually change someone's day. And I think it's beautiful that maybe I do something to Yale, right? And he does this to 2 more people, and those 2 more people does it to 5 more people. That creates like a huge wave of change.
What do you think about it?
I think this is a great idea because right now, no, the world is not in its better conditions. Because new things, we are developing new things like more technology that are making people like mind like crazy, no? And I think this idea is like really good because we can help people and like Yana said, make like a change and make a big difference.
And you can do it, I can do it, your friends can do it. It's not something that is difficult to understand. When I heard about this project, I thought, wow, it's so easy to do. It doesn't even cost you the €1 that maybe we talked about it now, that maybe you need to get the card, you need to put your details, and you say, I don't want to. I don't have my glasses on, I will not do it. But this is so easy, what you said, you just have to smile. And I think at school now, if you start doing this with your friends and they start doing it with their friends, and you get used to grow up as a nice person, you already changed the world. And you just need that trigger. No, sometimes you need one person to ask you a question that you never asked yourself to change your life.
And that's so true. And also I would like to add to that nowadays, of course, we have all these social networks. I'm personally not in social networks because probably of my age, but I can see, of course, my daughter, and I see how important it is for certain generations. And there's nothing wrong with social networks and with technology. I think the question is how do we use it? What do we use it for? That's why I'm so excited, to launch this project about such a simple, small things, these micro-piece actions, because nowadays it's possible. And of course, we have a great team, which is very important, and we will launch this officially the end of April. And I'm completely convinced that this will grow a lot, and we will launch this in Barcelona, which is also great, with a lot of international friends and people. We will come back to that later. But coming back to what Jana says, you just see only technology and you can see so many negative things. And here is the other way around. Here we really believe in technology, but just to use it well. And even talking about young generations, I also know that for my younger daughter, it's very important to have a profile and to show things. But I think it's also important, because here you will have your micro-piece profile. And it's very important that, hey, people can see your micro-piece profile, and I can see what you are doing, what you are receiving, what you are sharing, because everything is about sharing. And that's why I believe so much in the project.
And can I just add, it's like, for example, it's very cool to use Instagram or Facebook, right? Because if you do this, you're in the trend. But why it's not cool to be kind to others? And that's what we are trying to achieve, to make kindness and peace something cool, fun, and accessible to everyone.
Absolutely.
Yes, I totally agree on all of what you said. But moving on, in your team you have people from 5 different countries, no? So how does that feel?
I think maybe that was one of the best decisions we could have made in this project. I think it's not about all of us coming from different countries, but more about the alignment in values and vision and passion for the change. And it doesn't matter even like if we had all the people from Spain. I think it's more like how we get along and we really live like thinking about this project. We are willing to work until 12 at night. Everyone is accessible, available all the time. But of course, having people from Canada, from Portugal, from the Netherlands, Kazakhstan, Russia, it helps a lot to bring this global perspective.
Yeah, and I also would like to add to that, and I think it's a very good question, because I just believe very much in, one world, that we're all the same. I don't believe in countries. I love cultures. I love languages. I mean, I'm Dutch. My daughters, they are half Spanish, half Dutch. We have Jana from Kazakhstan, and then there's a great person, she's from Russia. And of course, a lot of people say, and because she shared that with us, like sometimes it could be even like a barrier, like, hey, I'm from Russia. And I say, no, I mean, I don't believe in countries. I believe in persons. I mean, I see a person and I don't even ask where they're from. I think, yesterday we met and I didn't ask you where you are from. And I think it's beautiful to have this mixture of all these cultures. Jana knows very well that this project is actually inspired by a famous Imagine song from John Lennon, which is a hippie song from the 70s, like Imagine a world without countries and without possessions and without religions, which sounds beautiful. And I really got inspired by that. And I'm also realistic, like, okay, now we live in a world where, we do have a lot of things. But I think we all agree that countries are beautiful, cultures are beautiful. I also love to see the Olympic Games, and I go with the Netherlands because this is my country, this is what I feel. But of course, I think we all hate to be in a passport line and to have all this paperwork for a visa. And I think this is something we also would like to change. We will not change this within 2 years. But why not thinking about that this is really possible, perhaps in 50 years? But it's all a matter of starting. And that's why we start this project. Really, it's all about cultures. It's even about beliefs. We can talk so much about religions. I think everything is possible. It even only depends on the way you connect and the way you share it.
I think that now that you mentioned it, maybe if your project is as successful as we hope that will be, maybe we will not actually need all this paperwork, because if everybody is nice, there will be institutions that will not be necessary anymore.
I really believe in that, and
So
I know
hopefully-
that. Oh no, and sorry to interrupt you, but because Jana knows me very well in that respect, I really believe in. I mean, it's actually, if you think about it, it's quite a crazy world, and of course we all know about security and checking things, and there can be dangerous people out there. But I think in the end, we all want, a free world where you can travel and you don't need any borderline, and we're all the same. But of course, to get there, you have to be realistic and you have to do it step by step. And that's why we believe so much in this project, just to start with ourselves. That's why we call it Micropeace, because it's really starting by yourself, inspiring others, people you trust. It can be your friends, your family, your neighbor. And I think this is the way we see this will start and this will grow.
We watched the movie. Do you remember the movie Bad Guys?
Yeah.
I think it has. Have you seen Bad Guys? You have to watch it. It's a cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
It's like it's like a group of animals, no? That they are bad and steal people. They steal museums, money, and everything, no? But at the end, there is this girl that is trying to convince them that being good is easy, no? And they said, no, we're bad, we don't want to change. But once they tried to be good, they liked it and they wanted to change. And at the end,
Wow.
they were like good animals.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was what the metaphor behind it. I think it's really something you have to watch the movie.
No, it sounds really
Yeah.
good.
It's because one of the bad guys was the first one, because he liked the girl and she was like the trigger for
Yeah.
the change. So he liked the girl and he said, he wanted, but then the rest of the group, he was
Yeah.
trying to explain them like, wait, I don't do this because I want to be good. I do it because it's something like,
Sure.
but at the end they all wanted to be good, but
Wow.
they hide it from each other, no? So I think also in the world, this might be one of the challenges, no? If you are the bad guy, then suddenly becoming good might take away your identity, your mask.
But that's really inspiring. I didn't know, to be honest, about this movie, but that really reminds me of course, what we dream about. That Jana told it is like being cool. I mean, if you have your Micropeace profile and you can show that you are doing like 500 Micropeace actions a month, then you are like a very rich person. Because now we talk about the Forbes list and who is the richest. Now I think the future should be about who does really the most peace actions. That's really like the best persons, and also talking about movies, it's already an older film. It's Paying Forward. I don't know if you knew that film. It's Kevin Spacey. Well, it's 25 years ago, but it's also a movie. A lot of people, when I talk about the project, they tell me like, hey, this reminds me to the movie Pay It Forward. Again, it's about.
I have to watch it.
Yeah,
You watch
yeah.
Bad
I really
Guys,
recommend.
watch-
So we already have two
With your
movies.
homework.
No. So we already have here like 2 movies. Really recommend to watch because they're really in line with what we are working on.
And talking about countries and different cultures, do you think kids can make a difference about peace, or is it really just for grown-ups?
I think I would not imagine this project without kids, to be honest, because kids are the future of this world. And unlike adults who might have already certain biases, beliefs, rights, prejudices, kids are more like innocent. And the way how they grow up depends on how we shape them, depends on what kind of examples we serve to them. So I think the earlier we start to spread this platform with the kids, the better, of course.
Oh yes. No. I also, I mean, think exactly the same. You are so right. I mean, nowadays, of course, we are in a certain system, and so many people, certain generations, they think this is what it is. This is our system, and we cannot change it. And what I see and what I love personally with younger generations, I talk about people from 40, 30, 25, 18, 11. What I see, the younger the people get, the less fear they have. They don't have this fear anymore. Like, hey, there are the leaders, we have to vote, and this is the only thing we can do. I think young people, they are so creative. They don't have any fear, and they love sharing. And of course, they make mistakes, as we all have done. But I believe that, and that's really my wish, that this project really grows a lot thanks to the younger generations. And of course, there will be some older people like me who also want to participate, because this is
Me too.
a nice way to end the life. You know, that at least there's some peace over there. But the big hope, and that's why I really mean it. This is such a long-term project. That's why today is so important, because we are about to launch it, and now we have the opportunity to talk about it. But we really, I really hope that this interview will be seen within 40 years. That people will say, "Hey, there was like a crazy guy or a crazy team, but they were right." You know, because now thanks to the young people, this is working. This is really what I dream about.
You know those videos where somebody is at a very young age and trying to do something, you know, like singers are the most popular, no? And then they're famous and they look at their videos, and back then nobody believed in them, no? And then I think no, I'm 100% sure that Maria, when she will be our age, she will see this and she will say, wow, I was the first one to talk about this. And I was one of the first ambassadors of Micropeace. And she will be so proud and say, oh, that day I was thinking about the Bad Girl concert more than this, but look, I am into the project that will change the world, that will change my life, no, basically.
Absolutely.
And you can put this on your CV, you know, when you grow up, and you will be so cool.
No, but I really believe it, and I think everything is really believing in it, because that's also what I learned with the former project, with the teaming project. I mean, there was such a long journey and so many bad things happened, but I also learned that if you really believe in something and you don't give up, magic happens. Then sometimes miracles happens, and like gifts from heaven, they just fall out of heaven. It really happens. I can confirm that, because I experienced it, and that's also what I like so much. Going back to young generations, and they really have to believe in it, because it's so easy to give up. You know, it's so easy to say, okay, we tried it and it doesn't work. No, it's believing in something and then inspiring others, and then just go on, and really miracles exist. I can confirm that.
Do you believe in this project?
Yes, of course. I think it's something really new that never exist, and I think this is really helpful for the world, because if it works, this will make a really big change.
Wow, I can even imagine this. Like, no, it really touches me. Everything you say, really, I really mean it. And I even can say, or think, or believe, or hope, or wish that this one day will be an important signature on schools. I think this can be so important for any school class, for any age. I think this can be, of course, we need mathematics, we need to learn English, whatever, history. But I also can imagine just a new signature like Micropeace, because it is actually a life lesson. And especially younger generations, they can learn so much from this. And that's why this is just another idea. We will see in a couple of years in this video, like this is where the new signature Micropeace started at schools.
We talked about when Maria was interviewing Sarah, her school principal, we talked about what subjects you think should be introduced in school. And Maria mentioned one that was teaching you how to love the difficult things.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How was it?
Like, I thought about a subject that if I could invent a new subject, it would be like something teaching you how to love difficult things, no? Because you learn to love easy things, no? That do not last like for so long. But difficult things are the one that makes you try, makes you give the best of you, and are the ones that last the most, like the whole life, and the ones you can enjoy the most.
The effort, no, when
Wow.
you put effort into something. And she said, you know, it's like, it's so easy to love things that are easy to love, no, but to love something that is difficult, it's
I mean,
the thing that is changing
yeah.
you. So this is what you are into.
Exactly, and not only things, but also people, cultures, religions, right? Like all the wars and conflicts that we have these days is because people are not able to accept the ones who are different from them. And that's what we are trying to achieve, to show that it's possible to love everyone, and you can love everyone in your own way. You can share something, you can just be nice to someone, it's up to you.
No, absolutely. And I think it's so interesting what you say. And I really hope one day we will see the signature at schools, because my personal experience, when I go back to, my eldest daughter, what I told before, that she was born with this very serious brain damage. But I can really confirm that there is a before and an after. And of course, this is, as you can imagine, you don't need to be a mother for this to understand that it was really, really, still is a very difficult situation. But I also dare to say that I'm happier now than before she was born, because it gives you so much, strength, this experience, this life experience. And it also makes you really realize how beautiful other small things are we normally don't think about. And I was like that. I was only worried about my car and about my job and nothing else than that. And then suddenly you have this wake-up call. Sometimes you will need this kind of wake-up call, like, hey, this happened for some reason. It's a bit of a difference, like, why does it happen to me? Because this was the first negative question, like, why me? I don't deserve this. But then I saw, it's not why, it's what for. In Spanish we say por qué or para qué. That's a big difference. And in my case, I really feel like these kind of life experiences, and as you say, difficult situations, they're actually, they have such a big value for the rest of your life. So
And maybe this happened for a reason now. If this didn't happen, you could not have helped so many people in your life. And maybe this project wouldn't have been born without your support also.
And I think we talked about it before. It's all about connecting, because I met Jana, I think 7 years ago, because I did the presentation about, I was just sharing my personal story. Jana was there in the University of Barcelona, and that's the way we met. And also, of course, it tells a lot about Jana, that she contacted me like, hey, I want to know more about it, I want to help. And that's basically how a beautiful network works. It's not about only doing business, because sometimes we wonder, like, hey, this person, what can I get out of this person? No, it's really about connecting about real things. And that's what happened, I think, with Jana, and that's why she's now in the team, even leading this project. Well, I do a little bit as well, but this is beautiful, just to meet people, especially going back to younger generations, because I feel so much, what most motivates me is really to share things with young people, because you're the future, and that's why I think it's so great, to be here and to be able to talk about this.
I think if everybody was like Jana, the world would be such a different place. And if you can inspire us by your energy, the way you talk, like you can feel the kindness in the air. And when you're surrounded by people like this, you want to be kind.
Yeah.
You want to be nice. Sometimes, I don't know if I'm a nice person or not. I hope so. Am I a nice person?
No, not really. Not at all. Not at all, No, just
Who are
joking.
you today?
It is really historical that we're here today.
I want to know the truth.
I changed because of Jana. You can get out of the basement.
But this is but you're so right. It's so simple. And of course, sometimes if I talk about my teaming experience and this new project, sometimes people, they ask me like, hey, this sounds all so beautiful, and did nothing ever negative happen to you? And I say, no, if I had to talk about all the negative experiences, it would be like a much longer story. But I prefer just, negative energy is like delete, eliminate, like fuera in Spanish.
Take note.
That's important. No, but it's important. I also learned that, and sometimes it's difficult, because it can be sometimes the typical things within a family or within with friends. But everything that's like negative energy, I decided, and I'm a bit radical. I think Jana knows that. Sometimes I can be a bit too radical, but I prefer, only to be with people who give positive energy, and then really positive things happen. That's the way it works.
Do you feel positive energy here?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we're here.
Until today, until this moment, I do feel very positive energy. No, but I really mean it. I mean, perhaps from my culture, because in the Netherlands, in the north of Europe, we are very direct. And if I would not feel comfortable, I probably would have. I would have stood up. Yeah, I would have disappeared already, like 15 minutes ago. But you know, the fact that I'm still here. No, I really mean it. I'm really. Yeah, it really touches me to be here and to share all this.
I think Maria has her questions prepared and she's looking at the at the hour. I want to ask all of them, so I will be quiet and let you do your job.
So, was there a moment where you felt like giving up because there was something that you tried and tried but didn't come out? Like,
I don't think I'm in a position to talk about this project because I joined only a few months ago, but you'll probably have
I can know it's a good question because actually this project, and Jana knows that, started officially 7 years ago. 7 years ago, I was already a bit like crazy because I believed in this idea. I called it Imagine All the People because I really was inspired by the John Lennon Imagine song. And, you know, with the small savings I still had, I thought, okay, let's create this platform and let's call it Imagine All the People. And then I really shared this crazy idea, okay, we need a world without possessions and we need to share everything. And I just did it because I really believed in it and I keep on believing it. But then, of course, when it comes to leadership, I don't even like the word, but when it comes to entrepreneurship, I think that's a better word. It's all about listening. I think the best entrepreneurs are the ones who really listen. So this project, of course, I started it 7-8 years ago. It was there. It was online. And of course, most people that told me you're really crazy. You need to see a doctor or you need to sleep more. And I then first thought, okay, you know, I believe in it and it should be like that. And then I learned what it really the value of listening. And I think Jana is such a good example. Of course, we were still in touch. We had the pandemic. So of course, in the Netherlands, we say, I just put it in the fridge. That's a kind of bad translation, but the project was still there. But going back to your question, yes, of course, there were moments. It was not like feeling like giving up. Basically, and that's also a very good thing, the fact that I didn't give up, I just kept on sharing it all the time with anybody, any place, anywhere, until the moment that a couple of months ago I met a very important president of the biggest peace building foundation in the US. He learned about this idea and he told me, hey, I love this idea and as a foundation, and it's really a big one, we want to support it. And that's basically also, they're called Search for Common Ground. It's an American peace building foundation. And that's basically why we are here, because in the end, of course, we are in a world where we do need to pay invoices and we do need some resources. And they gave it to us. So that's, I think, a good example that if you believe in something and you never give up, that kind of miracles happens. Because I never expected, you know, that such an important person, he works for the United Nations. I met him on a breakfast in Barcelona. I talked about it because I talk about it with anybody. I share it with taxi drivers, with anybody in a supermarket because I believe in it. And that's also what I recommend to people, especially to young people. If you believe in something, always share it anywhere, everywhere. And that's why we are here now. And thanks to this way of not giving up, the project now is alive again. And even in a much better form, a much better formula, thanks to Jana and also thanks to what I learned, the value of listening.
What did you bring into the project?
Actually, I don't know what exactly.
Nothing.
Just me being myself, probably.
It is true.
Yeah, I mean, I love organizing things. I love building things from scratch. And most probably the thing I like the most is actually being kind to people and inspiring them. And in the company I used to work before, I was actually told many times that I should be a bit less smiley. I should be more like serious person because then I would not look like a weak, prey for like wild business people. So basically I had to go against my nature, which was really very difficult for a long time if you have to put a mask of someone you're not.
And very sad.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was
this, no?
Exactly, and that's why I was thinking, why can I not smile to people? Why can I not walk like this and then still be considered as a professional, as with a strong background? But apparently, in some places, it works the other way around. And when I joined this project, I felt like I could be myself for the first time. you know, and no one would tell me you have to dress up differently, you have to erase the smile, because only then you would be considered as a professional businesswoman.
You'd be taken seriously, no?
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're nice,
no,
yeah.
and absolutely, yeah, but and also going back to, because this is really like a personal, just the way Jana is, but also going back to your question and what I said before, like, okay, you start something. This can be like, in my case, like a crazy idea, but I just started it, and then it's a matter of listening. And thanks to that, and of course, Jana she did, because she's very humble. She's a bit too humble. She did give a lot of, like, okay, people will not understand this. It's nicer if we talk about, sharing things, because I was a bit too radical, as I said before. And again, now, thanks to the input of Jana, we have a much better version. And we will launch this version, but I'm also convinced that once this is live and once we have people like you and you signing up, I'm convinced that you will give us feedback and you will say, or you and your friends or your classroom will say, okay, we saw and it's great already, but it can be even better if you change this detail or that one. And that's, I think, the key, that we will listen so much to all of you, because because now we just start. And we are realistic. Of course, we start with the version which will not be perfect at all, but it's there.
You never know.
But therefore, it's really something. Really, I take this opportunity also to ask this to you, and to your friends, that once we are live and you sign up, please let us know what we can improve, because it's all about that.
I'm your first follower. I'm very, very proud.
I know
of
that.
you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We saw that. Yeah, yeah.
The fact that like uniting the dots and meeting people, because you talk about your project all the time. That's how I heard about it, and that's why we are now here.
Exactly. I was just waiting for my coffee at Celta, but then being so passionate about the project, and I was like, yes, we should help each other. I love the idea of a local business. You are the new project, we are the new project. We should collaborate
And here we
Yes.
are.
It's amazing.
I'm so happy to join, and I tell everybody, now I'm the first local business to support micropiece. What is micropiece? Oh, you don't know about micropiece?
Yeah.
Because when you talk about it and you make it sound big, people are more interested than when you say and it's the same what I always tell you: believe in what you do. Believe it.
But I think that's also so beautiful, and that's why it's also so nice the way we met. And again, thanks to Jana just talking about it, but talking also about local businesses, because in the end, businesses are also people. I mean, we're all teams of people, and one can be a big business, it can be an NGO, it can be a charity, it can be a school, but in the end, we are talking about persons. And the beautiful thing here, and I think that was also one of the ideas of Jana, is to involve small local businesses who also believe in this project and who say, okay, we believe in people who just do and generate microbeads, and we want to give them something. It can be something symbolic. It can be a coffee. It can be a sandwich. It's not really about the value of that coffee. It's really about connecting, these small local businesses. I don't like the word reward, but it's a way to explain it, where people say, okay, if you do all these microbeads, you even can, get involved into all these small local businesses, which is great.
And that you're not alone.
Absolutely.
That there is a huge community behind supporting you on your journey of being kind.
I was thinking about it yesterday. I gave it a lot of thought, and sometimes I was thinking, oof, but it's very difficult for them. I don't want to be in your shoes, no, because it's such a huge task that you have to do. How do you do it? How do you give the points? I was like, oh, it's not that's not my job, to think of how to organize it. But as a business, I was thinking, it is so good if this works, and I attract to my business the people that want to get rewarded somehow for their kindness. My clients are already nice people, but I'm only getting clients that are nice. I'm building my client base on people that will not complain, that will understand the situations, will understand that things might go wrong. And I'm thinking, wow, actually they're helping me, because I get my business promoted to people that understand that not everything is always going well, and to people that are kind and are empathetic. You say, how do you say empathetic? So I think, wow, actually it's like a win-win situation. This project is a win-win situation for everybody. And then I thought of my kids, and I said, Maria has to come today. I sent her a message yesterday. I said, Mari, tomorrow you come and you interview us because I want you to be part of this.
Wow.
Do you want to be part of this? And she was like, yeah, it's very cool, no? I was like, yes. Yes,
No,
she said
but
cool.
you know, but that's so nice. Especially also what tells a lot about you is your spontaneous reaction. Because if you don't have any doubt about anything, and I think that was your case. Like, hey, I don't know why, but I love it. I want to be there. And tomorrow we're going to do this interview. And I think that's a very good sign. Because if there are projects or proposals you have to think about, then normally, it doesn't end up very well. But in this case, I think your reaction was also so positive and so quick and so spontaneous. And I think it's such a good example of what it's a kind of vision we have all together, is that this project is really, we think really very big, we dream big. So the project is really global, but it's all about acting local. Because yesterday I think we talked about it, like, okay, how can you trust anybody who contacts you? No, everything is about connecting with people you already know. You do nice things, you share small things with people in your family, your neighbors, your clients in your bar, people you know. And then I'm not even worried about, the rest. The rest will just grow and it will happen. But it's really, the definition is like our dream is very global, it's very big, it's very long term, but it's all about acting very micro and very local.
And moving on now, when we talk about like the actual platform of Micropiece, there is this thing now that is on the platform that each day now during 21 days you have to do like a Micropiece action, no? And because 21 days create habits, no? So what happens after the 21 days?
I think that's a good question. Well, actually, Jana was the one who came up with the 21-day challenge. So I think she's the perfect person to answer this.
Thank you, Jil.
No, really, I didn't think about it.
Difficult questions, I leave them to Jana. I take the easy ones, but it's a good question. Yeah.
But that's a really very good question, because the reason why we set it up for 21 days is to create a habit. And the reason why we want to create a habit is because if I go to you and I ask you to do something nice, what would your reaction be?
I'll say yes, of course.
But then, like, how exactly would you like to do
what
something
would you
nice?
like me to do? What is nice for you, no? Because for me, it might be nice to, I don't know, to give you a beer and you don't drink alcohol, no? So first I need to understand what is nice for you.
Exactly, and that's exactly the reason why we decided to set a 21-day of challenge. First of all, to give an idea for people how we see this Micropiece action, so that they get some inspiration, ideas, without having to put too much effort in trying to think, like, what can I do? Because the more time you spend, the less willing you are to actually do something. And for us, action is much better than just the thought of doing a Micropiece. So by having this navigated challenge of 21 days, first of all, people get used to like noticing some kindness around you, doing some micro actions, being kind to others. And once it becomes a habit, they can also go more bigger and, offer a ride sharing to someone who comes to the airport who needs a help. So by the end of the 21 day, they have a better idea of how everything works, and then they can be the active providers of those acts of kindness.
And at the end of the day, it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
It makes you makes you feel a better person. You live a better life. At the end, it's selfish, no?
No, it's true, but I think everything, if we talk about changing the world, everything is like starting with yourself. It's a cliche, but it's like that. And I experienced it myself. And Jana is so right that also when it comes to younger generations and it comes to technology, everything needs to be quick and easy. Because, of course, I can talk about this for hours and hours, and that will probably inspire one person, which is great. But we are really interested now by the technology to inspire millions of persons. And that's why I think this 21 challenge is such a good idea, because people just need to see it. They need to see a quick video, they need to see a quick example, and they need to get the feeling like, hey, I can do the same.
I want to do it.
Yeah, because if you make it too complicated, of course, and I fully understand, because nowadays everything is so crazy and so quick, so people need great examples, but it needs to be quick and it needs to inspire. And that's why I think this tool, which we think will work, but again, if it doesn't, we will change it. Thanks to your feedback, which is really important, but this is a way to start. And it really makes sense. And again, to connect this people who finished, let's say, this 21-day challenge, this Micropiece challenge, then they can go to, for example, your nice cafeteria to have a nice coffee or a sandwich or a beer. We will see exactly how we will define it, but it's not so much about it. It's really about the principle. It's really about doing it, and then people say, "Hey, this is real." And thanks to my micropiece actions, I inspire other people, and I even get something back for it. And I even think it's even great if people also decide, hey, I just want to be there, and I don't need to have anything back for that, because just doing things because you like to do it and you like to help, and that's it.
I think most of the people will feel like that. Will not even go for the reward. I think for the people that want to go for it's just how I see it. No, if you do it just for the reward, on day 15 you'll give up.
Yeah.
And it's
You'll
not
say
about
it's like the gym.
Exactly.
Good example. Yeah, good comparison. No, it's true.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Day 3.
Let's stop
What
it.
are they giving me? A coffee? Come on.
Yeah. No.
I have the €2 to pay.
But that's why, it's like going back to, we are in this, of course, we launch and we try and we have a great team and we are quite convinced that this is a great basis to start. But again, convinced that, when I go back to the teaming project like 25 years ago, the version was so different compared to the version we see now, which really works well. And I think the same thing will happen here. So it's all, again, I'm tired sometimes of listening to myself, but it's about listening, learning, and that's the way to develop things.
Now, I'm so curious. I like to live in the present, but this is the first time in many years. I think the last time when I was pregnant with Maria, that I wanted to see in the future, but really see like her read things, to see how she looked like, because she's my first child. And I was so curious when I saw her moving, and I was like, how is she like? And this is the second time in my life when I want to see in the future.
Wow.
I'm not kidding, really. And I want to see if this works and will work. Not if I change what I'm saying. It's when this will be the thing. Well, I want to see how the world is.
This is so interesting
there.
What you say. The other day, what I was just also dream, because I like to dream. I also like to think about the future, because sometimes we are selfish, and you're right. We want to see things for ourselves, and we want to see it today or tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I also like to work on things that I'm convinced, because I'm 59 now, and my plan is to become 100 or 110, because I feel very strong and good. But you never know what happens. But still, I the other day I was imagining a history lesson in the future. I was imagining a history lesson within 100 years, where people talk about, an ideal world where everybody is sharing and everybody is kind. And then a history teacher is talking about the year 2026. And I know that now a lot of people might think he's really crazy. but sometimes I like to imagine that kind of things, because sometimes we have to, it's a cliche when you think, you say we have to think out of the box. But for me, thinking out of the box is thinking that way. Just don't think anymore about your own life. I'm really happy and proud and great that we start all this. Also, I think it's an important message that if you try something and it doesn't work out, it's also good, because at least you tried. For me, it's the most important thing, that if things don't work out, you can have a company, you can go bankrupt, you can set up a social project, doesn't work. But at least the feeling, hey, at least I tried, because I know so many people, and I was one of them. I was sitting on the couch watching the television. I had my opinion, and I didn't do anything myself. And I think this is for me the most important message. Like, okay, we all know that, some things, they look terrible and it looks like Mission Impossible. But I can confirm, and now I really feel like an old wise man giving advice. But really, when you start with yourself and you try, and even, you will have problems and it doesn't work, the most important feeling is like, hey, I tried. That's for me the most important message.
I think your project will work, because I was this person sitting on the couch yesterday before talking to you guys.
Wow.
Just like, I'm not going to change anything. And now I'm thinking, maybe in the future they will not have a history, they will not learn the history that we learn now about words repeatedly, like history repeated. Maybe the only thing they will learn is what is a war. Because
yeah. Exactly.
We
have to think that way, and of course, again, so many people they really told me literally like, okay, man, keep on dreaming. But I said, well, there's nothing wrong with that, But I also prefer not only to dream. Then I also believe action. I believe in action, just doing it, and that's, I think, the big difference of a lot of people, of course, who dream, sing songs, and everything inspires, which is great. But I feel a bit like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just open it and try. And even though we have very small resources, but let's try, let's do it.
And I also think that of course, we would like to become like a global movement that is present in every single country, institution in the world. But I also think that even if we manage to change the mindsets and the minds of 5 to 10 people in this world, I think that would be already a change, like a positive change.
I will try. I'll pick 5 people and I will try to change them.
Because it's better than doing nothing, right? So
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today and talking about peace and the project you are developing. And I hope we can talk again and have another interview. Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you so much. This was so
Maria,
great,
for
and really,
having us.
we would love to be here many more times. Thank you. No, no.